All sorts of strange happenings on Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch leave fans asking questions. Recently, a boat scene on the series had left fans wondering about its missing letters. Now, some fans are turning to social media as they try to solve a Blind Frog Ranch mystery of their own. Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch recently finished its 4th season. Through the years, viewers have tuned in to see Dwayne and Chad Ollinger and their team search for lost treasure in the area. Over the years, fans have also noted bizarre and strange happenings on the show. This has often brought about fan discussions of the series online. As previously reported, Chad Ollinger was tasked with making a dive into an underwater cavern and explore its cave system. At the time, even Chad's father Dwayne commented on how dangerous the situation was. Fans also shared their concern for Chad. However, something else going into the water also recently sparked questions from fans online. On the show's Reddit page, one fan was curious about missing letters seen on the show. As the fan noted, why are the J-Y and G blanked out on the boat OLLOER they used to paddle about? Likely assuming the name was meant to read Jolly Roger, the fans also joked. Or maybe it's like a tattoo of an old girlfriend called Molly Roper. One fan was confused about the question, asking, "Where did you see this boat? Was it last night? I fell asleep early last night and missed the show." After it was explained to have been in a recent episode, they mused, "People talk about things here that I swear I haven't seen." Sigh. Some fans continued the original user's joke. These other possible suggestions included. Some fans also further talked about other things they thought were strange about the series. These comments included, "Did you see this recent episode of Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch? Make sure you come back to TV shows Ace for all the latest reality TV and celebrity. As loyal fans know, the Uinta Basin isn't just oil-rich and history-laden. It's layered with phenomena too strange for comfort and too real to dismiss. Among all the mysteries gripping Blind Frog Ranch, buried treasure, underground caverns, strange radiation signatures, even the possibility of ancient civilizations, one of the most overlooked puzzles might just be the most symbolic, the case of the missing boat letters." Yes, you read that right. The letters from the boat. Missing. They weren't just decorative. They meant something. They had to. And now they're gone. But were they ever really there? FANQESTION001. What boat are we even talking about? Started Season 2, Episode 3, or maybe it was 4. Hard to say. It was hot. Dusty. The crew had just unearthed something near the river's edge that looked half vessel, half ancient artifact. Dug from the sediment like a sleeping relic, this wasn't a local fishing boat. This was different. Too old. Too foreign. Metal riveted seams. Cold to the touch hull. And the paint, once a vibrant navy, now chipped and dulled, barely showed what might have once been a name. Letters faint, ghosted, but unmistakable. Except, they weren't filmed again. And by the next time the boat made an appearance, the letters were gone. Sanded, rusted, removed. Which leads us to FANQESTION002. Were the boat letters even real? Screenshots exist. Fuzzy, yes. Shadows make it harder. But longtime fans, the diehards, the frame-by-frame watchers, noticed something. An E at a possible N, a curve that might have once been a C, or an O. What did it spell? Was it a name or warning? A location? Speculation ran rampant in fan forums. Theorists argued over freeze frames and lighting angles. Some even claimed the letters shifted between episodes, a continuity error, or deliberate misdirection. Still, No one could deny they were visible. Once, and then they went. Fan Hui Estion 003. Why would anyone want the letters gone? This is where the rabbit hole opens. Several possibilities surface. Theory A. Legal removal maybe. The production team was advised to remove identifiers from the boat. Maritime laws? Ownership claims? A decades-old wreck with a hidden history? If the boat was part of an ongoing legal battle or investigation, maybe the letters were removed to avoid controversy. Theory B. Suppressed clues. Letters can mean coordinates, initials, symbols. What if they pointed somewhere? What if they connected this boat to something beyond Blind Frog Ranch? Something off-record, off-world? Theory C. It was never a boat. What if the letters didn't belong to a boat at all? What if this vessel was a decoy, covering something far stranger, a shell covering tech, a container for something ancient? Maybe the letters were red herrings. Fan Hui Estion 004. Did the team remove the letters, or was it someone else? Fans noticed something odd during a night vision drone sweep of the property, signatures aired later in the 2 figures, near the boat. Unauthorized, or just unmentioned. The production crew didn't address it. The episode glossed past it. But some eagle-eyed watchers noticed those 2 figures did something around the stern. A metallic sound. A flash of reflective material. Something being lifted. Could they have removed a plaque? Or scrubbed the surface? A short scene, but enough to spark suspicion. And most intriguingly, after that scene, the boat was never shown again in daylight. Coincidence? Or deliberate? At ANQ Estion 005. What do the locals say? Several Wintal locals have hinted at knowing more than they're allowed to say. One fan posted a photo of an older newspaper clipping on Reddit showing a similar-looking boat pulled from the Green River in the 1970s. That boat's name? Encoma. The letters match the speculated ones from the screenshots. But there's no record of that boat in state registries. No captain. No accident. No story. Just one photo. One headline. Then silence. Even more bizarre. Encomia roughly translates in Latin/Slavic fusion to fuel piece or power world. Oddly poetic for a place like Blind Frog Ranch. So, was the boat from a government experiment? A Cold War relic? A cover for something darker? Locals aren't talking. At least not on camera. Question 006. What's hidden where the boat was? Since the boat vanished from the show, new anomalies appeared in that location. Strange EMF spikes. Unusual plant die-off. Camera malfunctions. And a lead-lined container partially buried just feet from where the bow once rested. The container was never opened on screen. It was referenced once, then ignored. Was the boat a marker? Where the letters meant to lead to that box some fans think the letters, now missing, once spelled out a code that matched the number etched onto that lead box. Others believe the letters themselves were metallic and magnetized, perhaps opening a lock, triggering a switch, or, more symbolically, sending a message. To whom? No one knows, or no one says. Fan Hui Estion 007. Why has this never been addressed by the show? Blind Frog Ranch thrives on mystery. That's part of the appeal. But sometimes, what's not said speaks louder than what is. The crew often hints at restrictions, things they're not allowed to show. Permits, government blocks, unexplainable technical glitches. Some scenes are redacted. Some interviews get mysteriously cut short. The missing boat letters seem to fall into this black hole of silence. No direct acknowledgement. No on-air mention. No behind-the-scenes commentary, which only makes the mystery more suspicious and more compelling. Fan Question 008. What do the symbols REALI mean? Linguists, fans, and cryptographers have weighed in. One proposed theory: the faint letters weren't Latin characters at all, but stylized runes, specifically Norse or Proto-Turkic, often linked to ancient burial rites and navigational tools. Another theory suggests the paint on the boat wasn't paint at all, but ochre, an ancient pigment used in rituals. If so, this boat might have been a funerary vessel. For what or for whom this ties back into the deeper lore of Blind Frog Ranch. Ancient tunnels, lost civilizations, gold hatches, and the rumored connections to the Aztec Empire and beyond. Could the letters spell the name of a god, a direction, a destination? Fan Question 009. Are we supposed to notice perhaps the most unnerving question of all? Was this a mission? The missing letters, intentional? Planted? An Easter egg? A test? Blind Frog Ranch often leaves viewers hanging, but never without hints, never without puzzles. The boat letters could be the show's most subtle clue yet, a quiet whisper in a world of loud legends. It's not about what's seen, it's about what's missing, and those letters are definitely missing. Solding Illusion. The GRETSTCLUES aren't always in. The GROUNDA's Blind Frog Ranch continues to unearth strange relics and deeper truths. The missing boat letters serve as a perfect metaphor for the show's allure. They hint at meaning just out of reach. They suggest a story edited, rewritten, or erased. And they remind us that in the basin, truth doesn't always come in full sentences. Sometimes it's just a whisper of paint, a ghost of metal, and a question that refuses to die. Fans keep watching. Theories keep building. Questions keep growing. Because here, in the shadow of Blind Frog Ranch,